Up, man? What's up?
My nigga, this is dedication. This is anti-hesitation. It's a real nigga celebration.
What's up, man? What's up, man?
How you feeling, King? How you feeling, King?
How you feel? How
How
you
y'all feeling?
feel? Shout out to
I'm blessed tonight.
Reggie Owens. Shout out to Reggie Owens.
Shout out to Reggie
You went
Owens. Shout out to the barbershop. I appreciate everybody that donated. I really do, man. Today is the first. I'm gonna be honest, Fred. Today is the first time I smiled probably in the past week or two.
Wow, that's great.
I like. Can I just tell the story?
I mean, sure, I guess. Yeah, sure.
All
I
right.
guess.
So basically, I'm sitting down. I'm just sitting down all day. I didn't really do much. I'm watching the NBA draft. I think, yeah, I'm watching the draft. I'm thinking about Rose and Lily. I'm like, oh, like I'm just like sitting there out of nowhere. I'm like, oh shit, my kids are really gone. I'm like, damn. Like I'm down and shit. Like I'm just down. Like, man, I don't even know why I'm here. I just feel suffering. I'm like, all right, whatever. I get a call. I don't know who the number is, so I'm like, all right, whatever. So I put a question mark, and it says, hey, hit me back. Someone wants to speak to you. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So I called back, and with the first 5 seconds, like first about 20 seconds, I talked to his friend, and it's, man, my favorite fighter, the person I think is pound for pound, the best fighter in the world, to me, Earl Spence, man. Like I must have I was ready to cry. Like I must have lost it. I was so much in shock just to hear Earl's like that uplifted my spirit so much, Fred, dog. You don't understand. Like how you feel about Deontay Wilder, that's how I feel about Earl. Like, no, I'm going to bat for Earl. Nobody can tell me nothing about Earl. I don't care who it is. It could be about if they talking about when he sparred us. Floyd, I bring that up. I don't care about nothing. Canelo, anybody. If it's about Earl, man, Earl just gave me he said, he gave I wasn't expecting it. He told me, man, he heard the story about my daughters, and he reached out and just said like he sent his condolences. But he also, and I thank him, he didn't have to do this. He could have just said, hey, like he a busy man. He's fight weekend. He got a pay-per-view fight coming on. He got his own family, he has his own issues. But for him to reach out to me in this situation and to offer me to take me to the fight in Dallas on December 5th, man, I cried tears of joy once I got off the phone with him. I looked up to Rose and Lily in the sky, and I just cried, dog. I ain't stopped smiling since I got off the phone with Earl. Like, for me, this was such every fight that he has since I have my oldest Violet to Rose, we've watched of Earl. Like, dog, like I feel like Rose and Lily was just sitting down smiling at me like, Daddy, we got you. And I like Fred, I don't know if you did, but I said, Fred, I said heart, I said barbershop, I said, oh my God, you're the first person I thought about. Like, I've been ecstatic since. Like, I still can't believe like I spoke to. Speaking of Earl, like, dog, my two favorite athletes in the world is Earl Spence and Russell Westbrook. Literally, I go to
Russell?
bat for those two. Russell Westbrook is my favorite basketball player ever. I argue, I go 10 for Russell, the same way I go 10 for Earl. So just even him, Earl reaching out to me, dog, and just, they got to think about things going every day in life. And for him to go out his way just to reach out and just say he feels like, just feels sorry for me and my kids, like, dog, that meant so much to me. Like, people may not understand that shit meant more than any of my family members saying something to me. I didn't care what no, like, but I said, man, this, I can't wait, man. I literally cannot wait to see my daughters on Saturday. Like, because for the first 30 minutes before the service, I get to go in to see them. It's just gonna be me. The whole 30 minutes, I'm about to tell them about Earl at this fight. Like, I can't wait. Like, I'm about to literally sit there and chop it up because, like, there was plenty of nights that, like, when I get off of work from the New York hotel or Walmart, and my daughters will be just waiting up at 1 in the morning, 12 in the morning, and we watching Earl versus Sean Porter. Earl versus, because my two favorite fights from Earl is Earl versus Chris Algieri, because that's his
Chris
best
Algieri,
fight.
monster fight. This is his best fight to me.
His body and his physique for that fight was just different. If you just everything, how especially how he beat him 10 times worse than Pacquiao did. It was just crazy. And I say his second best fight, I always, to me, kind of, is probably the Kell Brook. I said toss up between Kell Brook, but I like how he did Bundu too.
Bondo, yeah,
Bundu
fold.
too. I don't really. The Mikey Garcia fight, I think that was just. I don't really pay attention to that. That was easy work. That was. And the Sean Porter fight, the same thing. He just beat Sean Porter at his own game. He didn't even try to do anything else. He just. But with this Danny Garcia fight, it's like, man, like for him just to even reach out to me, dog, that shit made me just look at life. Like, I'll be honest, like it was days I didn't want to wake up. It was days that I didn't want to be on this earth. It was days ever since that situation. I'll be honest, it was days that I like it's been hard that, like, you know, just waking up saying I feel like I'm suffering every day. Like, even though I have my oldest daughter, it feels like you're suffering because I lost so much at the weirdest time. Like, you never think it would happen. When I heard Earl's voice on that phone call, Fred, man, that shit just it brought everything back into my body, dog. I was just like so much in shock. But so when he offered to bring me to the fight and stuff like that, man, that shit opened my heart and eyes up. I cried tears of joy, and I literally talked to, like, the first person I called was Violet, and I said, "Guess who called me?" She was like, "Who?" And I told her. She was like, "The one that you watch boxing?" I was like, "Yeah," because my daughter's name is Violet, and his oldest daughter's name is Violet and stuff. So I was like, that shit is crazy as well. I was like, man, I just been speechless ever since, man. Like, I'm like, Errol Spence. Like, for me, that's bigger than anything. Like, man, I watch Errol. All your interview, I think the last interview I seen you do with Errol was it was him and Thomas Hill, and he was talking about he called out the heavyweight. I think you had him on here. One time.
Yeah, Chris
He was
Love.
talking about he was gonna he said he'll put up 1,000, he'll whoop his ass. Which, hey, I ain't gonna lie, I'm riding with Earl. He'll whoop it. Anybody. I ain't gonna lie. Look, how you go for bat for Wilder, that's how I am for Earl. I give Canelo a pass because Charlo there, so I can see that. But see, this is my thing. Him fighting Bud don't really do much. I think him beating up Canelo do more for him than him fighting Bud. Because, man, you on the same boat. Like, Bud just stopped Kell Brook, but Earl fought Kell Brook when he was at his peak.
Yeah.
Because Kell beat Sean. Don't get me wrong, Terrence is cool. But he's not going to fight Danny. He's not going to fight Sean. He's going to keep searching for that make-believe fight with Pacquiao that he ain't going to get. He's going to keep searching. And he's going to keep, like, all the talking he's doing. First of all, did you see his eye? Earl is going to, if Kell Brook did that to his eye, what the hell is Earl going to do? And let's call a spade a spade. Earl's last 2 fights, he hasn't taken serious. He's even said it, like, he's going there, like, and he's whooping these boys. Easy work. Like, Fred, man, just hearing Earl, like, man, that call.
That's beautiful.
That shit gave me new life, Fred. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Like, I had to call in to let but I had to give, man, everybody. I don't care what nobody ever say. Fred Hawthorne, this man right here, barbershop conversation. Give this man his flowers, not just for today, because everything Fred did, he didn't have to do for me. He didn't know me. I've seen all the stuff Fred does. Fred did this all from the kindness of his heart. People need to give you your flowers and more, because what you do is not, you don't know nothing. You don't owe nobody nothing. You, like you say, you're a man that worked your way up. You made your fortune off of unemployment, and you boosted up. Now you do the things you do. You didn't owe me nothing. And for you do that, man,
How you know I did it? How you know I did it?
Come on, man. I believe in Fred Hawthorne, man. I know you connected. Listen, I don't live in Texas. And I said the first person I thought of, I said it was Fred. It was I don't care what nobody said. Like, I give you, because, man, that to me is like how some people looked at when Deontay Wilder walked out in his last fight in that with the song and his mask.
Yeah, I get it. I get that.
The impact of just hearing Earl's voice and just hearing that, dog, that changed the trajectory of everything of how I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
This whole week I've had a busy week with I got to deal with court stuff because of case and deal with the grand jury and have to
Mm,
bear, like, that's the worst thing. I have to deal with all that plus bury my two daughters this week.
mhm.
All that negativity and sadness was trumped just by one phone call.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And I have to thank you, because if it wasn't for you, it wouldn't have been possible.
Oh,
None of this would have been possible. And I know I said it's crazy, and it hurt, but it made me feel good because it said, even though something sad happened, I know my daughter's looking at me like, Daddy, we here, we see you.
yeah, that's
And
beautiful.
I was telling people, even in a world full of negativity and evil, there's people like yourself, Fred. There's people like Earl. There's people like Earl's old friend that text me and call. That
Mhm,
there's good people out here. People do have a heart. Earl, like I keep saying, Earl didn't have to call me. He didn't have to wish me nothing. He could have just looked at it and said, "Damn, that's messed up." For him
mhm.
to even just call and just do that, dog, that changed my whole trajectory on life, man. Like, I was having dark days.
I
I
believe
was having
that.
bad dreams. I was like, the worst thing is dreaming about a woman that you love and you know you have to be with every night. It's like you waking up. So it's like that call, Fred, man, that changed everything for me, dog. Like,
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
whoo, like
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, Dallas.
Uh,
I was like, I was just cool with the call, but when he said that, man, I like literally when I get off the phone, I had to cry. I was like, seeing
yeah, it's
Earl
a
in
beautiful
person and like
thing.
getting the like that's something that once that happens, I can come back. When I get back, I can go to my daughter's gravesite and just sit there for hours and tell them about the experience I had.
Mhm. I
Even
bet.
though they're not here, they're here because I know they was with you when you I know, all right, man, dog, that was just, even this shit is crazy, man. Even through all this dark stuff, Fred, like, dog, this was really, I promise you, Earl Spence uplifted me so much from just hearing his voice.
Mhm. Yeah,
It was just, it was the call, like, just having like somebody that you just like you look up to,
how'd
and
the
you just
call
like,
go? How'd the call go? How'd it go? I'm curious. How'd it go?
it was like, dog, I ain't gonna lie, it was cool, like, cause I watched so many Earl interviews, so I know he calm, cool, and collective. So
Yeah,
I'm
he
like,
is.
he
He is.
super calm, cool, and collective, and he was just like, man, he just want to reach out and show his condolences, and he said the week, because they all quarantine, I guess, for the first week. He
Yeah.
was like, they gonna bring me out there and give me a hotel, and I probably won't see him until either after the fight or probably
After the
Sunday.
fight,
Uh,
probably, yeah. Uh-huh, Sunday.
I probably get to hang out with him Sunday and stuff. Like, I man, listen, dog, Earl Spence, like, man,
Mhm,
this is like a dream. Listen, my only two people I ever want to meet or talk to in life that was athletes was Earl and Russ.
mhm.
Russell Westbrook, I go to, but Earl, like, for boxing, I always tell people Floyd was cool boxing. I know everybody, but for me, Earl's been it's Earl's been the it guy.
Mhm,
That's my, like, anything I support. Everybody else is cool, but the main person I dial into is
mhm,
Earl. Because
mhm.
I believe Earl shouldn't go to 154 next. Since Charlo's there, I don't really see Charlo going up to 160. It don't really make sense to me like that.
Mhm.
I could see Earl going up to
I see that.
160, but
I see that.
like,
I see what you're saying.
I'd rather see Earl probably jump to one. Because I can see Canelo fighting Earl, but not fighting Charlo, if that big Charlo.
Yeah, I see it.
So
I
like,
see.
just like, man, and even if Earl, if you see this, man, I really do appreciate you. The darkest times, the darkest days of my life,
Yeah,
you.
everyone chop this part up and post it. Put it
Like,
in your stories, put it on your Facebook. You know,
I just want to tell Earl, like, man, the
these
darkest
special
days
days.
I was going through ever. I promise you were the person that really just sucked everything back into me. Pause. You gave me energy, hearing your voice and just hearing you, dog. It did everything for me.
Mhm.
And I appreciate you so much. And I really, really just cannot wait to see my daughters Saturday. Just to not only kiss them, but to tell them I talked to Earl Spence. To tell them your dad talked to Earl Spence. I can't wait. Like, that's the type of stuff, like, when I gotta buy a man down shirt and I just gotta put it on there. I'm gonna put it on I'm gonna just put it on their thing, and it's just gonna sit there forever, dog. This is like a memory come true. Like my daughter, when I told Violet screamed, said, "Don't you? You're always watching him late. You're always watching." And she was like, "Ah." Like I was like, "Oh man, like bro, like this changed. Earl, I really do, man. Earl changed my whole outlook, man. It was days I was waking up and I just didn't want to get up. I was like, why, God, why do you keep letting me allowing me to wake up today? Just let me go be with my daughters. When I got that call, man, Fred, I ain't gonna lie to you. Life just came back to me like, what the heck? Earl spit the truth. Mr. Man Down, Mr. Big Fish himself. Oh no, I was at shock, but as soon as I heard his voice, I was like, "Oh, that's Earl, man." Fuck, man.
Oh,
Fuck
God.
that. Hey, man, that was probably outside of having my babies, that was probably one of the biggest highlights of my life, man. Just from an impactful situation, because you never know when you're gonna go through a trial and tribulations or any type of thing. So to be going through this, and I'm in this hotel room, like literally in this hotel room, just like Fred, look, hold on, can I switch the camera? Oh, hold on. I'm literally just in the room all day. It's just like nothing. Like I remember it used to be times when I first started watching your channels, and when you used to come to Vegas, I used to try to write you, say, Fred, I work for the casinos. Instead of you paying that high end price,
That was one of the first things you sent me.
yeah, I was like, I get you the discount on the rooms for fight weekend, because people be paying all those prices. I could get a room. Those same rooms I've been paying $15 a night just to be here. I could get you the same room for like $40, $30 instead of $200, $300.
Yeah, that's what they be too, for sure. But
So
you know,
it's like, man,
my cheap ass go to Hooters. You know what I mean, and walk across
oh
the
yeah,
street.
but I think Water will probably be fighting Fury again, maybe in March or February.
Yeah, we
I know
definitely gonna
you're gonna
connect.
be here.
Sure. Yeah,
I
and I
know
want
you're gonna be
call me. Yeah, I'm
when
gonna
that
stay in touch with you
happens.
for sure. I'm gonna stay in
You're gonna
touch
get
with you.
that discount.
You're
But
gonna be my
Fred,
best
man,
friend. Yeah, you my best friend now. Yeah, yeah,
I appreciate you, man.
yeah. How
Mr.
you know I
Hawthorne,
did it?
everybody,
I ain't got no. Hey, all right. I said the PC answer, so I'll tell you the truth, okay? Because everybody gonna be like, yeah, yeah. All right, bullshit, Fred. All right, let me get the super chats out the way. The only way, let me see. The only way Bud gets a 50-50 fight is if he gets Pac-Man. True.
he's not
If
getting a
that,
50-50 fight.
I won't get 50-50 with Pac. He ain't getting a 50-50 fight with nobody but Sean Porter.
He couldn't,
You know what I
but
mean?
hold on, he couldn't even get him. He couldn't even get Pac-Man when Pac-Man
Yeah,
was
when he
signed
was
to
with him.
Arrow.
When he was with him. You're right. You're right. Big Dog, what's up? Fred is the GOAT. This is an amazing story. Earl is a pound for pound fighter for this. Legends live forever. You fucking right. So I'll tell you the God honest
But
truth.
let me say one thing though,
Uh-huh.
Fred, because
Yeah,
it's
take your
kind of
time.
I always this is my thing. People don't never see. We always speak about the ring and stuff like that. Earl's probably one of the most quietest superstars in the world for boxing. Because Deontay Wilder's quiet too, but Deontay Wilder's probably like he's more like talkative and Earl's more calm, cool, and collective. But these are the kind of stories that people need to hear about Earl. Because Earl don't owe nobody nothing, but for him to do this for my daughters and for myself, that's a people's champ right there.
Yeah,
That's the definition of a people's champ. It's not about the cars, the clothes, the money, of course he's in boxing, everybody, he's always gonna get that. This is the kind of stuff in real life, a black man doing this for another black man that he probably knows is suffering.
Yeah.
I'll probably never have the things that Earl have, but for him to even just reach out and call me,
He's special.
that's king shit for him,
man. And that's what I tell
like
about
what you called him. I think you called him the Miracle Man.
The Miracle Man, yeah, Earl the Miracle Man. Yeah,
Earl,
yeah,
that's a real king right there, man.
Yeah,
it's legendary. But Fred Hawthorne is legendary too. And even though people disagree with your take, you a legend. Hey, you're an urban legend. South Central in a certain section.
Yeah, that's facts. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, I'll
man.
tell you what happened.
Like,
I'll tell you. I'll give you the word for word, right? So, anyways, like all of us
all
in
right.
the motherfucking chat, none of our asses could sleep Monday night, right? Obviously, right? We were just
Yeah.
crying, motherfucker, and so I was going through our chat, I was going through our chat, and I'm like, every other comment is about Earl. I'm like, damn, this nigga loves Earl. Did I send you a DM? And I was trying to be ambiguous about it. I says, is Earl your favorite fighter? And you hit me back like, yeah, oh my God, yes, he's my favorite fighter. So I was like, quick. And so I called Jordan and I said, Jordan, and I'm crying to Jordan, and I'm crying, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna cry. And
Uh-huh.
I was like, yeah, man, one of my supporters online, man, loves fucking Earl. And I shared a story with you. And I shared a story with him. And I'm gonna be honest. This is what I said. I says, I know Earl is in COVID. And I know he probably can't see him before the fight. And I was like, whatever we can do, just give me the bill. I don't give a fuck what it is. Just give me the bill. I want him to meet Earl at some point if we can make this happen. And Jordan says, all right, we'll take care of it. We'll take care of it. And I'm fucking like, also, I'm holding back tears on the phone and shit. I'm in bed. I was in bed till 10 o'clock Tuesday morning. I just want you to know that, nigga. All right, I was fucking in bed,
Okay.
just fucking. Oh my God. I was stuck in mud and shit, right? I was stuck in mud, nigga. And so Jordan and I are going back and forth on text. He was like, send me, I asked you for your address, right? Are you still there?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me? Yeah, I hear you. Okay, you're back. So I said, there you go. Are you back? Yeah, okay. So I was like, send me your address. And that's when I asked you for your address. And I sent Jordan, and Jordan them did the rest, man. Jordan, because I extended. This is how great Earl Spence is. And I need you to fully grasp and understand this. I volunteered to do all the work. Like whatever it took for this to happen, I would have footed the bill.
Yeah.
Like I would have, right? And this is how great Earl Spence is. Earl Spence. I never spoke to Earl. Never spoke to Earl. But I spoke to Jordan, and I was like, man, this is gotta do something. And he took from there. Him and Earl took it. Y'all motherfuckers need to get behind Earl, Team Spence forever. I mean, forever, ever.
Man down.
Like, blind trust with this man. Blind trust, because I never spoke. They never asked me for anything. They never asked me. They just said, Fred, what's this? What's this? And I sent them, I called Earl. I left him a message. I was like, man, you're fucking amazing. I just said, I was like, Earl, you're one of the greatest men ever. You understand what I'm saying? And I was like, Earl, I just want to call your father and your mother and tell them thank you. And I picked that and I hung up and I called Jordan. I said, I just want to call your mother and father and tell them thank you, because you didn't have to do this. You didn't have to overextend yourself. You understand what I'm saying? A phone call would have been sufficient. You get what I'm saying? That's sufficient. A phone call is sufficient.
Absolutely.
But to say, hey, come down to the fight. After the fight, I'll see.
I said this. I said.
Mm-hmm. But that's the story. That's the truest story that I can make up. And I just want to see you smile again. Even if it's for 10 minutes. That's all. And Earl is a hell of a man.
I said, dog. I said the same. I said.
But here's the catch. This shit. Earl did this shit in less than 24 hours. Wait. I got to say this. Team Spence did this shit in less than 24 hours. Nigga, it was yesterday. They did this shit in less than 2. So if you talking bad about Earl ever in your fucking life, I'm gonna call you a liar. Yeah, they did this all on their own. I didn't have no take on it. No take on it. No. So I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Wilder and Earl, fuck it. Classic. You know what I mean? Because I've seen it. I've seen them in action. So I know the type of men they are. You know what I mean? And Earl didn't. I mean, he didn't have to field it, but I think he trusts me on a level that, you know what I mean? Earl was special, man. Earl was special, and I'm glad you're gonna smile for a couple of days. You know, I'm glad, have a good time, and
For a couple
that.
days. This hit the year. It's longer than a couple of days, Fred.
Man, you gonna have a great
Couple
time at the
days.
fight. Man. You gonna have a great time at the
This
fight.
is my championship.
Facts, man.
Man,
Facts.
I'm
Earl is
just
special,
grateful.
man. Earl is special. Yeah, and it's
I
just, man.
appreciate you, King, man.
No, man, that's what we're supposed to do, man.
No, man.
It's nothing because I mean they don't have to. You know, like I don't talk to Earl on the phone. He just judges me on my character when he sees me. I don't talk Earl. I don't call Earl, you know, and I just reached out. I talk to Jordan every so often, but not Earl. You know, I see him when you see him and we catch up. You know, just like I don't talk to Wilder. I talk to Tay Jones, you know, but you know, it's just, you know, so it's just a beautiful story, man. And flowers will continue to grow, you know what I mean? And it's going to be a great testimony, you know what I mean? And it's going to speak to your resilience, your toughness, you know what I mean? That it's just beautiful, man. So I'm grateful to Earl. I'm very grateful to Earl because niggas would have taken months. Oh yeah, months. Oh, man, let's do it after the fight. I'll be in Vegas in February. You know what I mean? I'll be in Vegas in February. I'll meet him in Vegas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, Sweet Science Examiner says powerful testimony, Quan. Thank you for sharing your positive energy, this experience with us, King. Earl is the truth. Earl is the motherfucking truth, Rob. Beautiful Rob film. Earl Spence is the man, nigga. Fuck this shit. And I want the world to know this story. That's why I want y'all to clip this shit. I want the world to know this story. It's important because he did it out of his heart. Earl did this shit out of his heart, man. It wasn't, I didn't call this nigga and beg him. I didn't call that nigga and beg him. I didn't even talk to Earl. I just called him today and told him thank you. After you sent me the voice message, I was like, man, I was driving home in my Honda Civic. Oh man, driving down Florence Boulevard. You know what I mean? Like, this nigga Earl called you in less than 24 hours?
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, Spence, that dude, man.
Anyway,
Spence.
hey man, I ain't gonna lie. He gave me longer than 5 minutes, so I was grateful. He gave me longer than a 5-minute talk, so I was like, "That's
oh really? Oh, hey DB, call in, man. Call in, DB. You got to get something. Yeah, DB, call in. And yeah, it's just yeah, it's beautiful, man. So Earl deserves all this fucking credit. Jordan deserve all the credit. Derek James, Spence Senior, Mrs. Spence,
Fred
Mrs. Jordan.
The barbershop conversation deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah, Reggie Owens, everyone else, man. Reggie Owens met up with you on Tuesday. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta stop being humble, Fred. Fred, you gotta stop being humble.
Yeah, it's a community. It's a community, DB. DB's in here. It's a community, man. And I've always
wait. Shout out to Reggie Owens.
Yeah, Reggie Owens for sure. Now you getting shit so late. I just said that. Shout out to Reggie Owens.
Yeah, my shit it's coming late.
No. DB in here. What's up, DB?
What up, Fred? What up, Jaquan? Hey man, listen. You one of the strongest dudes that I ever came across. For real. And I was just saying to everybody in the chat now, but I've been saying this for a while, that Deontay Wilder and Errol Spence Jr. are a special breed of human beings. It ain't just the boxing. We just know them because they box. If these dudes lived around the corner from us, you know what I mean? Or if these dudes are just dudes that went to the gym with us, they'd still be special human beings. And this is just proof right here, man. It was needed, not just for you, man. It was needed for us too.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I was talking to my sister, Patty Dean, the other day, and, Monday night, neither one of us could sleep. We was just, you know, we was fucked up the whole night. And I was just telling, you know, Reggie, my big brother, I was just telling him the same thing. You know, this is, man, it's emotional on both sides, right? It's sad for us, but then again, we get this, you know, this good news that changes your spirits. So it does the same thing for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you strong, so that makes us stronger too, man. It's a feel good story all the way around. And now this is even bigger. I know, and you know, I know life is more important than the sport, but this will be even bigger once Errol Spence Jr. comes out victorious and then unifies these belts, because we'll all be thinking about this story.
I'm praying for Earl. And truth be told, I want the world to hear your story. I want the world to see your resilience. You get what I'm saying? Like, I want Fox to pick this shit up and be like, well, they probably are. They probably are. But I'm saying I want the world to see you, man, in this lights. You know what I mean? Like, because so long they fucking be downtrodden and this and this. I want the world to see how strong you are. You know what I mean? And your daughter, you know how beautiful your daughter is, and your daughters. It's just it's important. So I hope that the cameras are around and Earl because Earl's not going to tell this story. All right, Earl is going to sit there, and that's why I'm glad you came on tonight, because Earl's not going. We would never know this story. I swear before God, Earl don't talk. I didn't ask. Earl won't even talk to me. Like, you know, he ain't even call me back. You get what I'm saying?
Earl modest and shows humility.
Yeah,
The only time he can show some cockiness is when he comes to boxing.
Yeah.
Outside of that, man, he's gonna be humble.
Yeah, man. So that's why I ignore a lot of that shit. Deacon 305 say, God bless you, young brother, and I pray God kept your mind strong, and in time you will feel a lot better. And thank you to Earl the True Spence. Yeah, Earl's the man. Earl's the man. Earl's the man. Spence and Wilder, the fighters with the most class, man, without a doubt that I know of, man. You know what I mean? Earl just went on my Hall of Fame list.
Yep.
Earl went on my Earl just went on my Hall of Fame list.
Brother Code 10 in the super chat, he says Spence and Wilder, the fighters with the most class. Absolutely. Can't disagree with that at all.
Without a shadow of a doubt, man. It's because Earl would have just let this pass on by. You know what I mean? He wouldn't share it. And that's why I want all y'all, because I want big newspapers and bigger media outlets than mine to pick this story up. And you know, it's a great story. You know, that Earl did this out of his heart in less than 24 hours. How do you trust a random guy like me? Because I have so much pride and love of self that I don't ask nobody for shit. I think this is the first thing I've ever asked of anybody in boxing. I ain't lying to y'all niggas. I don't ask nobody to pay for my food, airfare, free tickets. I don't even ask Sam for free tickets. You know what I mean? If he gives it to me, he gives it to me. You know, if he says it's $100, I pay $100. If it's $500, I pay $500. Ask Timothy Bradley. He saw me paying for my ticket. You know, so I mean, I miss your super chat, TB.
Let's see. He said, as the Bailey family representative of the Eastern Shore of Maryland, aka the Frederick Douglass family, we are praying for support, praying for you and support.
Amen. You're absolutely right. You know what I mean? Yeah, just being back in on that same link. But yeah, man, it's beautiful, isn't it?
This just validates all of the stuff that we've been saying, though. You know, it's just validating everything that we've been saying, man. It ain't nothing that we didn't know, you know. These are the kind of things, and again, this ain't no shade at Bud when I say this, but these are the kind of things that Bud just can't compete with.
Yeah, and when Bud is out here complaining, this nigga Earl is saying, "Hey, I know what I see what you're going through. I got 2 daughters, you know what I mean, and I fully grasp and understand what you're going through." So, oh man, yeah. Nah, you late, sure Kyle. You late. We ain't rewinding this story. It feels good right now.
Call it tomorrow. I know some people in the chat might not know, and but just so y'all know, Errol is really from South Central. He just says that he's from DeSoto, Texas, just to kind of be, you know, a little more low key. If he said he was from South Central, he'd probably get an overwhelming amount of support. But yeah, Earl really from South Central. He's from like off of Florence and Normandy.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful thing, man. Earl's amazing. Earl is fucking amazing, dog. Like, to do this shit, I don't know. Like, you guys got to understand this shit. Earl is a brand. You don't understand this. Like, so when you So when an athlete that has a multi-million-dollar brand and is attached to a billion-dollar industry like Fox and boxing and NFL, this is big. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just beautiful. And I hope the world hears this story. I pray. I mean, I know, don't be offended when I say this, but you know the white people want to use this as a feel-good story. You know, I understand all that, but that I 100% know that's not why Earl did it. But you got to use that so the world can hear the story, you know. And I was overwhelmed when I was driving home. I was literally overwhelmed, man. And it's beautiful, man. So you back in here?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
All right, but yeah, I just want to say, man, just thank you to the whole community, the whole LDBC, Fred, Reggie Owens. I met him, man. He was a gracious man. Met his two beautiful twins. Man, I just appreciate everybody during this tough time, because even it makes me feel like, you know, y'all been here with me. I'm not alone. I have people that's like, it feels good to see actually people like, you know, by your side through a tough shit. This is probably one of the toughest. Like I always tell people, you know, we're used to seeing like people, death is a part of life, but you know, having it to like your own child is probably very different. So just having y'all with me just as the support and all this happening, man, it's giving me so much like life and extra spirit, dog. Like I feel like I could have ran and jogged 10 miles after that call, Fred. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I get that. I get that. And that's why I want everybody to share this video, chop it up, put it on your Instagram, put it on your Facebook, because this is.
And everybody support Earl.
Everybody support Earl. Yes, please.
Because my thing is, I know everybody looks at the Floyd way, but look at this man, Earl. He may be quiet and calm. He ain't super flashy. He ain't doing all this like a lot of these other fighters. But he just did some king stuff when a brother's down at his lowest when he doesn't have to. He reached out.
Yep.
He didn't have to do nothing. Like you said, he has his own family. He's training camp. He got 2 weeks out. He could have just, you know, just called and said, hey, that's good enough.
Right.
But for him to do the extras, that's, as a man, that's like, that did so much for me. He didn't have to do that. And it changed. It made me feel so much better about waking up the next day.
You got something to look forward to. You have something to look forward to.
That's how impactful it is for me, because after losing my daughters, I'll tell y'all, I didn't want to be on this earth no more. Every day I thought about dying. Every day I was like, man, even though I had a fight, I didn't want to be on this earth. I forgave, and it just hurt me, and it killed me every day to get up, because my world, my structure that I had every day of waking up and just seeing my babies and changing their diapers and giving them baths and making those bottles was gone from me. That I had to sit in these walls and just look at myself like, God, why do you keep letting me be here to suffer and suffer? I'm only here suffering. Yes, the woman I forgave is behind bars, but I'm the only one that's here to have to suffer. And when I talked to Fred that day when I was able to tell about them, that gave me a little extra But when I got that call from Earl, that shit just hit my heart so deep. And I was like, damn, people, it's like somebody I look up to is like, man, oh my God, it changed my whole outlook on things. And people may not understand it, but when you down deep, it's rare that you get a call like that. It's rare when you at the bottom, I'm not even talking financially, and I'm talking about when you at the lowest of your lowest, because you just don't want to be here, because everything that you believed in is gone. Something that you took your time with, you held at when they came out the womb. When it came to Lily, my 2-month-old, she was a home birth, so I held her up. I delivered the birth. And it hurt me because I had to deliver the death at the home. So even with Rose, that gave me so much life, Fred, of just wanting to keep pushing, to keep pushing. I've been strong every day. I've been positive every day. I've kept my head up every day. Every day I walk around, I just see people with their kids, and I never put my head down. But for the first time today, I was actually able to smile and say, wow, thank you. It wasn't even about getting to go to the fight. It was about hearing his voice. It was about hearing him say, I'm so sorry for your loss. Even because he even said he has 2 daughters. That's just the offer, just to even get to speak to Errol Spence is just a privilege to me. That's a privilege to me. Maybe not to somebody else, but that's a privilege because that's special. That's a monumental moment I'll never forget for the rest of my life. This moment, maybe to be honest, hearing Errol Spence's voice kept me from jumping off the ledge, from just saying fuck everything and just quitting. I promise you, the moment I heard Earl's voice, it changed everything in my heart and mind, Fred. He gave me fucking new life because every day I was clutching on, holding on to be better. Because like Fred, you know how hard it is to wake up some days and you look out the window of your hotel room and you have to realize, damn, my kids are actually dead. They're not coming back. It's not like, a dream, or it's not a movie. It's not for play. It's real. Like, damn, it's Wednesday. I'm getting closer to Saturday where for the last time, that will be the last, Saturday will be the last day that my kids are above ground before they go under. I haven't had to deal with this since 96. Since 1996, I lost my father to gang violence, and I was only 4. Now in 2020, at 28, I'm losing both of my 1-year-old and 2-month-year-old to a tragic accident. And now I have to put them under. And even though it hurt, all that negativity hurts. Earl, I promise y'all, Earl gave me the strength. I was ready to hit 10 miles and do about 50 jumping jacks after hearing Earl. I started shadow boxing in the air and everything. I was like, oh, the truth just called me. Yeah, it just felt good. Like, damn, the truth just called just to speak to me, dog. I ain't never had nothing like that. Most black kids in America, we wish to get a call from a LeBron or Jordan or something, but just getting a call from Earl, man, that did so much for me. And I'm not even gonna front. I don't have no pride and ego when it comes to nothing like this. I know some men will have pride and ego. All my pride is at the window. Earl, I salute you. I thank you. Fred, I salute you. I thank you. Y'all actually helped me. Y'all kept my spirits up, and it's just unbelievable, Fred. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we listening.
Yes, indeed.
Like, man, it's just different, man. And it's like, it's a hard time now because after that, after Saturday, it just be me and Violet left, and I just got to get ready to start that journey, just a new journey of Violet. But knowing that I got Rose and Lily, and knowing that I got something I always can hold on to and just talk to them about, like, man, Rose and Lily, when I go to that thing, I could, like, I got to see Earl. I got to meet Earl. He was like this. He was like that. I got to see Earl win the championship again. He kept both of his belts. That's gonna be something monumental to me. Those are gonna be something I can just hold on to, like my daughter graduating, like that. Because for me, I lost 2 of my C's, so everything else that I get in this life every day is a plus. Me being able to wake up every day is a plus, because at 1 year old and 2 months, they were supposed to get to my age. So now every day I got to cherish every day in life for myself, but also for them. Because I feel like most people, we wake up every day, we think we got 100 years, but you don't ever know when your time is going to be ticked and it's going to stop and your clock is just going to be done. We don't know when the clock is going to stop on our life. So, Fred, man, I want to thank you. I want to just thank everybody. And I want everybody just to order that Spence pay-per-view, support Errol Spence. That's all y'all better do. Support Earl, man. He's a real one. He ain't out here talking about money. He's really about the people. He didn't have to be about the people, like Fred said, and he really was. Ain't no like you, Fred. You know this. Earl don't speak to he don't do the interviews. He don't like talking to people.
Nah, none. 0. He won't even call me back for an interview. I'm serious, man. I'm serious. We gotta get him in.
He be at his he be at his ranch on his horses and stuff.
Yeah, man.
Taking care of his kids. So, man, man. For me, Fred, I feel like $1 billion now after that conversation. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It was monumental for me, man. For me. So I know the whole time I'm talking, I'm looking in the air and I'm like, damn, Rose and Lily, are y'all serious? I felt them. Like, I literally felt them. Like, I felt Rose saying dad, and Lily just looking at me like cooing and stuff. Like, while I'm on the phone, like, damn, like, y'all, why y'all do it? Like, why y'all playing with me right now? It was like that kind of moment for me. Like, damn, my daughters they really got me like this. Like, damn, dad, you better keep your head up. You got to get ready to go see Earl. You always talking about you want to go see Earl. Now you about to go see him. That's how I feel. Like, my daughters just, the whole time I'm on the phone with Earl, I feel like my daughter's like, oh, yeah. What you gonna say to Earl now? He on the phone with you. What you gonna say? All them nights you kept us up on YouTube listening to barbershop conversation or watching Earl highlights. What you gonna say? What you gonna say? That's how, man, dog. This is man. This is something I can hold on to the day I die, Fred. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. But I appreciate everybody. It's a sad story, and it makes it worse. At the end of the day, I still got to go a long time until. And that's another thing. Can I say another thing, Fred?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna tell everybody. At the end of the day, my biggest journey though, when it comes to all this, is getting justice for my Rose and Lily. Even though I've forgiven, I can't walk past and let this happen. Like, there's no excuse. I will get justice for my Rose and Lily. Even if it's a person I love, and if my wife is somebody I supported, I have to get justice for my kids. That's the only right way. I want to tell Rose and Lily, since I'm on the barbershop, I love you. I miss you. I cherish you. I think about you every night. Rose, every time I eat, I always make it seem like you with me. And Lily, I wish I could change your diaper one time. I wish I could just make you one last bottle. I wish I could sing y'all one last song. I wish I could just kiss y'all one last time. I really do miss y'all. I'm low-key lost without y'all, but I'm holding on. Rose and Lily, I just want to thank y'all for just blessing me with being able to be y'all father. Even though you only one made it to 15 months and the other made it to 2 months, it felt like a whole lifetime for me. And just for me to be able to say your name on this platform, I just want to tell y'all I love y'all, because I know this platform is going to live on forever. Rose and Lily, y'all my world. I'm going to make sure I watch over your big sister, Violet. I'm going to make sure I'd hold it down for y'all. And I promise I won't fail y'all. I won't let y'all down. Daddy's going to stay strong. Daddy's going to stay positive. Daddy's going to stay a king. Daddy's going to stay with peace and love and happiness. I'm going to prevail. I'm going to get through it. It may take me second by second, day by day, but Daddy's going to prevail to be the best man he can be. Even though y'all not here, I know y'all going to be with me emotionally and mentally. And I promise I won't let your sister down. I promise I'll be the best man I can for your sister. I promise you guys. And Fred, that's all I want to say. Barbershop, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank you for all the donations for the Cash App, the PayPal. What was it, Fred? I think was it Violet, Rose, and Lily?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to donate to Violet, Rose, and Lily, all the money is gonna go to Rose or Violet and Lily anyway. Like, so if you want to, I think it's Cash App is Violet, Rose, and Lily. The PayPal is Violet, Rose, and Lily. VIOLETROSELILY. It's only one L in Lily, but I love you. My daughters love you. My name is Jaquan Singleton. All my girls are Violet Singleton, Rose Singleton, Lily Singleton. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. I thank everybody for sticking with me through this tough journey. I always, like I told Fred, I'd rather this happen to me than somebody else, because I don't know how somebody else would have reacted off emotion. But I'm going to prevail. I appreciate you. I know I could come into the barbershop and speak if I need to let off some cry, some tears. I don't want Fred crying no more, because once people seen him crying, I know that probably was like, man. So Fred, I appreciate you, dog.
Yeah, I love you, man. And we're gonna check up on you, man. We gonna you gotta stay. We're gonna stay attached to you for the next couple of years, man. Guaranteed.
I appreciate it.
Easy.
So I'm gonna let the phone lines get back in, man. Y'all turn this barbershop conversation up. Y'all hit that like button. Support Earl the True Spence on December 5th. We about to get that W and go into next year. And if Pacquiao want it, he can get it. If Terrence Crawford want it, he can get it. If Canelo want it, he can get it. We're going to say Spence, man down.
Spence.
Spence. Because we'll say DeSoto, Texas. We in the building, man. I'll see you December 5th. Man down. Y'all have a blessed night.
Appreciate you. We hang up, yeah. DB.
Hey.
Yeah, we gotta stay connected to him, DB. It's important that we at least give him a call once a week, because it's funny that he's been listening to the show, but he's never called in. It's a lot of people like that, you know. It's a lot of people like that. We're gonna take one call. We're gonna wrap it up with DB, but I know Pastor want to call in. What's up, Pastor? I should dig in 305.
Yeah, man. I just want to salute their young brother, man. And